Hey there, boys and girls, guys and gals. We're back. This is Michael's Backyard Marina. And I want to do the beginning of this video is going to be a little bit of a follow-up. You guys have probably seen a couple of the videos so far if you followed me for the last few videos on this 20-horse Johnson. It's a 1969 20-horse Johnson, 2-cylinder, 2-stroke, all that fun stuff. This thing has been phenomenal on how it runs. But if you followed one of my other previous videos, the gearbox was going bad in it. Had some black oil. Had a 17-mile run on it, and the oil was jet black and burnt. We had a bad bushing in there, and I found some other issues that I addressed. This will be part of a what do you call it? Several episodes that are tied together, so to speak, and just wanted to follow up with this one, and we're going to drain the gear oil today. I had this out this past weekend. We ran it about 17, 18 miles. I burned 3 gallons of fuel through it, and I actually ran out of gas. Follow to the end of the video. You'll see some footage, some drone footage of my son towing it back in with the banana. But I knew I was taking a risk and running it kind of close because I didn't have my 6-gallon tank in here. Normally I like to have 6 gallons because I can run end to end on the lake and still have about 3 gallons left over type of thing, but I didn't in this time. But let's get down here. We're gonna go ahead and drain the oil in this gearbox. We're gonna see what it looks like, and then we're gonna start talking about trim, how to trim your boat motor. And I'm gonna give you a little sneak preview down here of what I'm talking about, and then we'll go to the dry erase board and draw up what I'm talking about in more detail. Or maybe I'll just talk about it out here if I have enough daylight left. So without further ado, we're gonna jump down here. Got my screwdriver. We're gonna drain the oil and see what it looks like in a glass jar. Alrighty. I'm gonna go ahead and pull the bottom plug out of here. Got my little jar ready here. Oh, look at that. Beautiful clear gear oil. It's been sitting about 3 days since we had it on the lake. Absolutely no water got in, and the gear oil coming out looks absolutely clear and clean. That's a win. I'm going to take this top plug out. We're going to watch it pick up a little bit of speed here on the draining process. There we go. Well, that oil looks fantastic. It's not black or nasty or disgusting or anything. Might look a little dark there, but it ain't dark. It's kind of nice to drain all this oil out here anyway, because you know I had that assembly lube in there, and that mixed with the oil and helped things break in real good. But I'd have to say we got ourselves a winner here. And you can see this still turns freely, like it's rolling on roller bearings versus just bushings. That's how slick it is inside there. And before, this would not do this. It would actually it was real stiff. But now it's freewheeling like it should again, and everything's good with this gearbox. Well, now that that's us done draining, we'll go ahead and top her back off with some fluid. Some AMSOIL 85W90 or 75W90 synthetic gear oil, because that all looks really good now. I am pleased as punch with how that turned out. All right, we'll go ahead and pump her back full here. Okay, let's talk about the trim of the motor. We've got 4 positions here, 1, 2, 3, 4 pinholes on here, and your trim pin. Right now it's at the lowest position so that the bottom of the gearbox is closest to the transom. And then we'll go to the other extreme, and we'll call that position number 4. So the 1 closest to the boat, 4 furthest away from the boat on the pinholes. As you can see how much it changes the attitude of the motor and how it hangs on the back of the transom. We're going to talk about what this does to the boat and how you should adjust your trim to get your boat to do what you want it to do. We're gonna go inside, we're gonna go to the dry erase board, and I'm gonna try my hand at some sketching and kind of give you an idea what it does. And then we're gonna see what the boat actually does on the water. Because I got video, side shot video of this on the water with the Banana being my chase boat and recording the action of the boat in these 4 positions and what it does. And we'll talk about why you may or may not want to do certain things. As you can see with my fine artistry that this is a 1969 SeaNymph and this is a 1969 Johnson. It says it right here, right? This is the boat we were just looking at. Now I want to show you what trimming does to your boat. So down here we had the 4 pinholes, right? We're going to pretend this is in the 4th pinhole, which is the furthest away from the boat, like this. When you have it in this position right here, what that's going to do when you launch and you're thrusting your boat through the water is this has a tendency, it's going to push this way, right? The front of your boat's going to go this direction. It's going to go up. And when you go to launch that boat, this bow rise is going to be huge. And then it's going to come down on plane. But in this 4th position, you got to be careful. Depending on, if you got a passenger in the front of the boat, like on this 14-foot boat, it's a very lightweight boat. If you got a passenger sitting up here on the boat, and you've got you back here driving it, depending on what you weigh, let's see, we're all happy because we're out in the boat smiling, right? This might keep the boat running in the water pretty decent. Now, he falls out of the boat, your boat's going to look like this. The water line's going to be more like this. Now, I know I'm not drawing that flat. I'm not moving the boat around. But you'll have a lot more gap through this area in this scenario. And what that can do is cause this thing to porpoise up and down. So it's like bang, bang, bang. It's doing like this on the water. And that could be hard to control, hard to manage, and you don't want that. In order to bring that bow down, you're going to bring this thing closer to the boat. And when you bring that pin closer to the boat, everything's going to come down here like this, right? There's your gearbox. Here's your prop. What that's going to do here is that's going to force the nose to go down. It's going to drive it down in the water a little bit further. And when you're by yourself, I found that this number 1 position was the best position to be in because the water line, when you're on plane, was running about right here. You want it to be about, back past center of the boat is when you're on plane, but not too much bow rise, right? And that gives you a lot of control in the water. So that's where your trim is gonna make a difference depending on what pinhole you put it in. Now I find when my son's in the boat and I'm in a boat, whether it's the Banana or that SeaNymph out there, 3rd pin or 4th pin out is ideal because it helps pick that nose up and get you up on plane. When you're by yourself, and I'm back here at 275 pounds, 280 pounds, 290 pounds, depending on what day it is, right? It's gonna already be pitched up at a little bit of an angle, and when you take off, it's gonna raise it up even higher. So that's why I come down here to 1 or 2, and it keeps that bow from getting too high up in the air, and it gets up on plane quicker. So we're going to go through the 4 different passes I made, one at position 1, one at position 2, 3, and 4, and you'll see the difference in what the boat does. Now, this boat, top speed, 22 mphs, 22 miles an hour. And no matter which position I had this in, 22 miles an hour. Now, on other boats, like my big boat, with 120 horse inboard outboard, you can actually do the trim with the hydraulics, and I can actually pick up 1 or 2 miles an hour just by trimming the boat and making it more efficient in the water by not plowing so much water and actually bringing the bow up but not too high so it's porpoising. So anyway, so let's do the runs and compare what they look like, and you guys can then know what you need to do if you notice your front end of your boat's plowing too much water or if it's porpoising. So pin position number 1. position number 2. That's a little rougher than I wanted it to be. Pin position number 3. And now on the third one out, it's going to really... I have no idea what the top speed's going to be. Okay. Pin position number 4. Now remember, number 1, closest to the boat was the gearbox. Number 4, gearbox was furthest away from the transom. Still, top speed was 22, both those times. All right, there you go, guys. We did 4 runs. We set the pitch of the trim at 4 different levels. Actually, the bottomed out level seemed to work best because I don't have a lot of weight in the boat other than about 3 gallons of gas and a battery. Now, if I had a passenger in the boat, this thing would like to plow a lot. And then I would actually take it up a notch or 2 to help the motor pull the front of the boat up out of the water to counter balance or counter react to the weight in the front of the boat, which will get it up on plane easier and faster. But now this thing's running pretty good. We're gonna make about the 15-mile run to the dam and back, and hopefully I got enough gas to get us there and back. We may just go over to the marina and oh, we didn't bring any oil with us, did we? If I run out of gas, you're just towing me, I guess. Are we ready? Oh. All right, he's getting the drone up in there. We're gonna get you guys some really good drone footage, I hope. So far, the gearbox seems to be working fine. It hasn't slowed down or anything. I hit a top speed of 23 miles an hour. It's 23 miles an hour, which is pretty good. All right, he says we're ready. He's got it in trailing mode. Let's see what we can do. Well, folks, I hope you guys enjoyed that video. I hope you found it helpful and informative. That's the long and the short on trim. Basically, you want to trim your boat so you get the most efficiency out of your boat for top speed, and for fuel economy as well, and most control on the water while you're at speed. Obviously, in position 4, as you saw in the video, the front of the boat was porpoising, and you can see it when I was going out of the field of view there, how the front of the boat was doing this. Well, picture it doing that, and now catching a wake wrong. That could send you up in the air pretty bad and land you pretty hard, and next thing you know, you're in the front of the boat or out of the side of the boat, and that's no fun there either. So that's where you want to, it's about safety as well, I speak about safety. Yes, I didn't have my life jacket on in the video, but, and that can be its own danger, as we all know. Anywho, we had a lot of fun doing this video. I ran out of fuel, like I said, on this thing, on the 20 horse. We ran about 17, 18 miles roughly, and it consumed 3 gallons of fuel. But that whole time, there was very little idling going on. We ran to the dam and back, and pretty much wide open throttle the whole way. I was hitting 22, kissing some 23 mile an hours on the GPS with my phone, but it was a lot of fun. And as you saw, the gearbox oil, I'm perfectly content and happy with it. This motor now is going to go to a new home. I'm going to put it up on Facebook Marketplace, and then some lucky person is going to get what I feel is a pretty nice outboard, what I'd call a true survivor. I mean, the paint on the under the hood is in great shape. The paint outside, nobody's tried to paint camo on it. It's all original. Be proud to put it on any boat. I've been happy to have it on the back of this boat. But this boat, the old SeaNymph, is going to find some more Johnsons and Evergroods to play with, because I've got more lined up here not behind me, it's behind the camera, that I'm going to be working on and putting on that boat and testing it out. That's what I bought that boat for, was to put a bunch of different outboards on and give them a test and see how they perform. You guys get out there and have some fun. I hope this gives you some knowledge, gives you some willingness to go out there and find an old outboard motor and see if you can get it running and put it on a boat and go have fun out in the lake. You know me, I like to make them as reliable as possible. I won't sell a motor to somebody unless I know I've taken all the steps it takes to make it to right. I'm not going to do it halfway, and I may end up with more money in these motors than the motor's actually worth. And lucky person gets to take that home for a decent price. That's a good deal. I enjoy sharing this knowledge with you as I'm learning with you. I'll admit I haven't done a lot of this type of work. I'm done on these videos, and I'm learning right along with you, but I'm also having some great successes. I watch a lot of other people that do stuff like this, and I'm a quick study, in my opinion. And then like I said, I share the knowledge with you great folks out there. Keep the comments coming. Keep the thumbs ups coming. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't so far. Only about 17% of my viewers that watch my channel are actually subscribed to the channel. And that's pretty good, because about a couple years ago, it used to only be about 2% of the people that watch my stuff were subscribed. So people are stepping up and subscribing. It doesn't cost you a thing. And the thumbs up really helps out the algorithms for YouTube to recommend more of my videos. Give me thumbs down if you don't appreciate what I'm doing. That's fine too. It's a free country, and all opinions are welcome. Not all opinions are equally appreciated. So you guys, I'm going to be working on some more outboards here coming up real soon. I've got video after video coming. This one here I've got sitting right here is a guy I work with, and is from K6 Outdoors. And we're getting his old outboard. It's a 25 horse. I think it's a 1975 25 horse that we've got everything done to it. It's about ready to go back on the boat, and we'll get some drone footage of that. And all we got left to do is he's got coil packs on order, and we'll get that back on there. And we'll get this thing on the lake, and with the old Banana as a chase boat, and we'll get some good footage of that running, and he'll get some good footage for his channel as well. All right, you guys get out there and have some fun. Like I say always, if it ain't broke, fix it till it is. This is Michael, and I'm out. I'm way out there in the stratosphere, way beyond the waves of the ocean.